Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Library of Ruina. And essentially, in the last episode, we finally completed the fourth of the opening floors of Realizations, which was the Netzach floor. And now, we're going to be moving on to some very annoying and gimmicky and sometimes difficult abnormality battles. But before we get into that, I do want to show you my new and improved firing squad that I've kind of built. And so we have it on Malkuth's floor at the moment. As you can see, Malkuth herself does not have any combat pages on her. The reason being is that the firing squad floor is not complete yet. We're still missing a key combat page that we're going to be getting sometime very soon. And so for the moment, I only really have the minion librarians. I only have them as the firing squad at the moment, but soon we'll be getting a combat page to go with Malkuth to kind of complete the firing squad. So I'll show you what the minion librarians have to offer. So pretty much we have 3 take the shots and 3 indiscriminate shots. That's pretty much the same. But because of the fact that we now have a Thumb Soldados page, which they can use both range pages and melee pages, we've equipped them with Overcharge. Now, for those of you who know what Overcharge is, for those of you who don't know what Overcharge is, while it's a really good attacking combat page, there is a drawback. And that drawback is after every turn you use it, you kind of become immobile for a turn, so you can't attack the next turn you use it. But that's not the aim of the firing squad. The firing squad is to pretty much kill all of our opponents in the first turn. And so that's why we have Overcharge. Now, as for the passive abilities, we've got Concentration, Snipe, Blind Fire, and Meow. So, look at this. So we gain plus 3 power for the first scene, plus 2 power for the first scene, another power for the first scene. That's 6 power! Plus, for 3 of our librarians, well, actually no. Yeah, so for 3 of our librarians, we also have the Mew Mew page, which gives plus 1 strength to 2 allies. So if we equip it to 3 librarians, that's 6 strength. That's a lot of strength. So because Leeway's page and Meow Mew's page, you can only equip it to 3 people. For the 4th librarian, we've had to switch it up a little bit. We've included Oinky Oink's page and Alok's Bzz page. So pretty much, now we give a feeble to 2 random enemies, which lowers them. And we also inflict 1 paralysis on 3 random enemies, which pretty much slows them down. And so, it's pretty strong. Just wait until we actually get our main guy to be equipped to Malkuth. Then this floor will be really dangerous. But until then, we just gotta wait a bit. I've also done up another page for Roland, specifically for the Keter floor abnormality fight. And we'll get into his page once we get to the battle. But for the moment, we're doing Tippereth's battle. So this battle is actually really difficult. It might take me a few tries. Who knows? So the people we're equipping for this floor is Kim, Wang, Oscar, and Eugen. Now you might notice we have not gone with Olga for this fight. The reason being is there's a specific moment in this battle where the abnormality does a really deadly mass combat attack, and the only way to block it is the turn before he uses this combat page. He spawns these weird gem crystals, and you have to attack these weird gem crystals, and they give you a card to block the mass combat attack. The problem is, though, with Olga, her whole thing is she discards cards to pretty much strengthen herself. And so because of that, in this battle, she might accidentally discard that card that we need to block the mass combat page. And so that's why I have not gone with her, just so she doesn't end up screwing herself over by discarding it. But anyway, let's get into it. The battle is called the King of Greed. Okay, so the first thing you see is this thing, and you're probably gonna wonder, okay, what is up with this? It doesn't look that bad. Well, this is kind of the introductory phase. So the aim of this is to pretty much destroy, or to pretty much destroy this first part of the abnormality. Because if you don't bring, I guess it's an egg, the abnormality down to 0, you won't end up facing the King of Greed. You will end up facing the Queen of Greed, which is a lot harder than the King of Greed. Because the Queen of Greed just loves to spam mass combat pages, and it gets really ridiculous and annoying and difficult. If you do, however, attack the egg and bring the egg down to 0, it'll turn into the King of Greed. Now, with that being said, even if you do bring out the King of Greed, you do still have to face the Queen of Greed. The only difference is, though, is when you're facing the King of Greed, you bring it down to, I believe, about, I don't know, remember if it was like 40% or 50% health. And then at that point, the King of Greed morphs into the Queen of Greed. And so the only difference being is do you want to face the Queen of Greed at 100% health? Or do you want to face the Queen of Greed at like 40% health? The choice is on you. Me personally, I don't want to deal with all the mass combat pages the Queen of Greed throws at me. So we're going to want to take this thing out. So let's do it. Alright, so we're going to use the prescripts and mend weapon. Yeah, we're also going to put in that deep drag with some smoke and paps. You know what? We're going to use 2 Flash of Cernos. And then we're going to finish it off with a Moulinet, just to be on the safe side, with a To Overcome Crisis. Alright. Thankfully, it only has like 80 health, so you should relatively be able to, like so. Then it becomes the King of Greed. It opens up, and now we're facing the King of Greed. Or Magical Girl. Actually, no, sorry. I got confused. Take that back. Okay. So, you know I said the King of Greed, Queen of Greed, just reverse it. So I kind of got confused because I thought you had to face the King of Greed and then the girl or the Queen of Greed. That's actually not the case. It's just sometimes my memory gets kind of befuddled because it's been so long since I played this last. Okay, so if you attack the thing and you get rid of it, it becomes a Magical Girl. Now what you want to do is get the Magical Girl's health below 50%. Then it turns into the King of Greed. And the King of Greed is the one that you don't want to face. He's really difficult. He's the one that does just all the mass combat pages. If you didn't take out the egg in that turn, he would have become the King of Greed and he would have had to face the King of Greed for the duration. But the Magical Girl is obviously not as strong, so Yeah, so pretty much what you want to do here is, okay, just pretty much, you just want to like clash and like block. Yeah, like for example, Ecstasy of Triumph. That seems very dangerous. You want to block that one. Okay, so Sparkling Strike. And now, okay, so we're gonna go with. Okay, we're gonna use our Smoke Pack here, and then we're probably just also gonna use some Inhale Smoke. All right. So for this one. Oh. Alright. You know what? Yeah. We're just going to use 2 Smoking Paps. So for this one, we don't want that to hit Eugen's Broken Dash. So, let's see. It's 3. So we're going to use probably... Yeah, so we're probably going to use a Millenay on that. And then... There we go. Okay, I think for this one, use Transpierce. And then... Alright, we're going to take that back. We're going to use Fletcher. And then a Extract Fuel. And then finally, we're just going to use a Boundary of Death. And it's overcome crisis. Let's hope that Boundary of Death pays off. Alright. Yeah! We blocked it. Alright. We're doing good so far. Oh no. Unfortunately, the one hit and it like destroyed the rest of the dice for that turn. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Winning a clash. I like love. Enemy who dealt the most damage to allies marked as a villain. Yeah, we're gonna go with love. We're gonna give it to Eugen. Because Eugen needs that healing. Alright. Okay, so we're gonna use Flashing. Oh wow, okay. Gonna use another Flashing Strike. This one we'll use Millenay. Alright, we need to start getting that smoke on her. Alright, so... Alright, so that needs to... Alright, there we go. We need to get the smoke though. Alright, yeah, we're gonna use... And then... Alright, there we go. Hang on. I'm just switching this up. I'll use Millenay in that one. There we go. Actually, no. There we go. We got it. Alright, yeah, they're all clashing. Oh, yes. You get healed with love. Love heals all. Oh, wow, that was close. We just blocked that. Now we're making it work. Ugh, not that time, though. Alright, so I believe it had about 400 health. Alright, so these are the crystals I was talking about. Thankfully, they don't really have much health, so... Oh, no. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Oh, this is not good indeed. She also broke a blood... Oh, no. She broke a speed dash. Okay. Okay, so everyone else should be good. Alright, we use Flash of Cerner and a sharpening blade. Okay. Oh, this is not good for you, Jin. Alright, we're gonna give Eugen... Actually, no. We're gonna give Tippereth Justice. Alright, yeah, so... It does 10 to 12 and it staggers target. So... We're just gonna hope Eugen can block the old-fashioned way. Alright, so what you want to do here is you want to use Fragment of Bliss. Yeah. Actually, no. Yeah, so you want to use it on the one that it's targeting. Like so. Then we're going to use a Deep Drag. So this one's targeting this one. Then we're going to use a Millenay on the other one. Then a Fragment of Bliss. And, you know, let's finish it off with a Will of Prescripts. Alright. Ah, it didn't block. Somehow... Eugen is still kicking. And we staggered him. We staggered her. Ah, come on. Yes. Now he's become the king of greed. Alright. Oh, well... It's over for Eugen because I can't block that. So Eugen's gonna get effed up. But we just gotta finish off. Alright. So there's no point in blocking that. Because even if it's equal, I don't think it will work. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to use a Millenay for this one. And we're going to use a Sharpening Blade for this one. It was nice knowing you, Eugen. Let's hope the other three have enough about them to pull this off. We're doing really good rolls though, so that's nice to see. Alright. Oh, what's this? It looks like she's been marked. Okay. Like, look at these. Okay, these are like some very dead, dangerous. Alright. I need a 3-up. So we're gonna use Will of the Prescripts. But firstly, we're gonna use a Transpierce. And then a Will of the Prescripts. For this one, we just use those two, and then we're gonna use that, and then actually, yeah, we just need to be careful here to go with the cards in the right order. There we go. Yeah. All right. You know, with the way it's going, this might come down to the wire. Alright, come on. She's got less than 100 health now. We can do this. Alright, it's back to this. Excuse me? What the hell is this? Who's targeting me? Alright, whatever. Alright. There we go. Okay. I still don't know why I have a magical circle over me. Okay, so this one, they're targeting specifically. Alright, so we're gonna do that. Then smoke pipe. Let's hope that pipe smokage is enough. And then for the others, like, we don't even need it. We don't even need Fragment of Bliss. Alright, we're gonna use... Alright. So we're gonna use Millionaire. Yeah, there we go. And then... Will of the Prescripts. And an Extract Fuel. Let's see if Wayne can survive this. Alright, he survived. He survived. Not that time. And there goes Wang. The good news is we almost got it staggered. Okay, we've almost got it staggered. That's good. Okay. Come on. Gonna use Transpierce. Okay, we're probably gonna have to use Sharpening Blade. No. Alright. Gonna use Sharpening Blade. On Clash lose. Alright. We just gotta hope, fingers crossed, we can bloody stagger her before she kills us. Yes! Take that, you demented witch! Alright. And we win. Really? I didn't think we did all the damage though. Did she just give up? Okay. I'll take it. A win is a win. Man, that was close.
Hey, omachi.
Here you go, Tipperef. You better thank me. Your abnormalities are like some of the most annoying in the entire game.
これがまさにねじれという現象よ。
The distortion phenomena.
昔のロボトミー社で幻想体が作られるのと同じ方式ね。
ねじれが幻想体だって。
過程は似てるけど本質は違うわ。幻想体は媒体になった人が自ら発言したわけじゃなかったから。誰かの意志で心を取り出したものが幻想体なら、ねじれは自分の意志で発言したものよ。
つまり人間の心の中にはみんなあんな化け物が眠っているっていうことなのか。しばらくしたら猫も杓子もねじれてもうめちゃくちゃになりそうだな。
強力なきっかけがいるわ。泣く子になった夜明け事務所のフィリップを見るに感情の増幅が必要だったから。
Oh, please don't bring up Philip. That gives me some traumatic memories. He should be a book by now, but he keeps running away.
そしてその条件は私たちが作り出した因子だったわ。
因子だって？
アンジェラがダッシュした光よ。7日の間完全に世界を照らせたのならこんな副作用もなかったはずよ。
Yeah, but she stopped it.
そうか。
中途半端な過ちを犯したわ。やらない方がまだマシなことをやらかしたみたい。
収集させる方法はあるのか？
Instead of eliminating the evil, it turned them into evil beings.
撒かれた光を回収して完全な7日分の光を撒くこと。
アンジェラは黙ってないだろうな。
アンジェラはそう言ったわ。
Yeah, she wants all the light for herself so she can escape.
きっとアンジェラも探してるんでしょうね。
そういえば君はアンジェラの時
So
間
you're
を
telling me there might be
同
some
意したって言ったよな。
betrayals and backstabbings once we get all the light.
どうして賛成したんだ？君の言う通り計画は狂ってるだろ。
悔しいけど信じたかったの。アンジェラにも機会がいるって。
聖人君主さんでいらっしゃいますね。
正直気持ちだけ言うなら今でも怒りたいし恨みたいわ。でもエノクならこうやったでしょ。
Poor old Enoch.
もう少しだけ信じてみようって。
すごいな。俺よりもずっと強いよ。俺ならそうできなかっただろうな。そんな遠くまで見通せないんだ。
あなたにも意味がある人ができたらきっと遠くまで見渡せるようになるはずよ。その時まで耐えてみようって。
You know, that was actually a nice chat with Dipper F. I thought you would try to smack me some more, you know.
意味のある人か。応援ありがとう、チビ。
Oh, we just called her Chibi.
子供扱いしないでってば。
Never go. Alright, now we're going to be moving on to Chesed's abnormality. So, this abnormality is also pretty annoying. So we're going to go into it with Bamboo Kim, Yujin, and where is he? Wang. The reason being is this is essentially a battle of damage dealing. The aim of this is to just out damage the abnormality before he out damages you. You understand what I mean when we get into it. So this one's called the Warm-Hearted Woodsman. Okay. So the way this works, So the way this works, okay, so you have this giant rock woodsman. You also have 3 trees. Now, what happens is in the first turn, he's idle. He's not like powered up or anything. Kind of think of him as like a sort of like robot golem type being. And so pretty much he allows you to just attack him that first turn. The second turn, he cuts down a tree. When he cuts down the tree, it gets his motor going. And then that's when he pretty much attacks you normally. And he does some powerful attacks. Yeah, so he does some powerful attacks. So, okay, so technically, the point of the battle is, what you want to do is, okay, so the way this works is, he will have a counter. When the counter goes to 0, he will become immobile. And then for him to become mobile again, he'll cut down another tree. Now, in my experience, just ignore the counter because he also gets counters from winning clashes with the librarians, which he will most likely be able to do because he does hit pretty hard. As for the trees, you pretty much just want to ignore the trees. They don't attack you or anything. They're only there to get the woodsman going, but pretty much like he will never become inactive again once it becomes active. Because he will be attacking you so much, gaining so many counters, that the trees pretty much don't even matter in this battle. And so, yeah. And so pretty much, as I said before, the aim of this is to beat him before he beats you. Pretty much just want to do the most amount of damage as possible. That's why I've gone in with Wang to stack up the smoke. And with both Kim and Eugen, who are my 2 damage dealers. So we're going to use a drag and a smoking pipe. Yeah, so he also has a thing where so it says if a character clashing against this page becomes staggered, killed. So if you become staggered while clashing against him, he will kill you. Alright, so we're going to use a boundary. Oh, wait, we don't have enough of a boundary. Okay. So we're going to use a flashing strike and a repulsed. Actually, no. We used to overcome crisis. We don't really need repulsed at the moment. And then Moulinets. So pretty much, you just want to like tap up those Moulinets, do as much damage as possible. Here we go. Also, there might be a thing where like one of the trees might like jump in the way and like try to like block you a bit. But even then, just don't really focus on the trees. You just want to focus on the big boy. So yeah, alright. So the first turn, you pretty much just try to attack him, do as much damage as possible. You don't really have to worry that much, because he doesn't attack you the first turn. Now. Yeah, so he cut down a tree, and he gains health for doing that. He also gains health for killing you as well. So, yeah, so you kind of want to avoid. Okay, so we're gonna. Alright, so he does 6 to 8. Okay, we can't. Okay, so. Yeah, so we're gonna use Flashing Strike and Repulsed. Here, we're just gonna continue with the deep drags. And the Smoking Pipes. And then, so he's going after that Broken Die. Okay, and 4 to 8. Okay. We're gonna switch it around. Flashing strike. Wait, no. Repulsed. Wait, no. Flashing strike. And then repulsed. Alright, there we go. Here, we're just gonna use deep drag. Alright, there we go. And then we use a Moulinet. And draw the sword. Alright, I'm ready. Let's do this. Yeah, so just ignore the trees. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Let's see. With a higher amount of stagger resist. Ooh, I like that. Page, discard a random page, restore one lines. I like that as well. I'm probably gonna go with gleaming. Probably gonna give it to Chesed. Alright. Again, they're just targeting me. Alright, so we're gonna use the Moulinet. Then Sharpen Blade. Then we're gonna switch it around. Sharpen Blade, Deep Drag. Alright, there we go. You know what? We're also using it now. Smoke. This one we use Repulsed. And Flash Cerner. Alright, I'm happy with this. Yes, as you can see, it's like, it's very annoying. You gotta like just roll really high. Just constantly do damage. We've burned him, which is good. Okay, we're gonna use Torn Wisdom. We're also gonna give that to Chesed. Okay. Okay, so he's using Warm Pulse. This guy, he will not stop targeting me. But thankfully, okay. This is gonna depend on if we roll. Come on, we gotta roll a max. We got to roll the max number. Alright, there we go. Gonna use Trace of Fumes. And a Flash of Cerner. Alright. Yes! We rolled a 50! Hallelujah! Happy days! I don't freaking believe it! I don't freaking believe it! Oh my god. He has like 7 health left. He needed to roll a 4. He needed to roll a 4 to survive there. He did. Oh my goodness. Alright. Gonna use a millionaire and a repulsed. Switch it around. Alright. Going to in-house smoke. We just gotta hope, because that final one is targeting the broken speed there, and we can't do anything about it. We just gotta hope we can take off his 7 health before he kills Eugen. Okay, come on. There we go, we got him. Give it up to Eugen's lucky DAS roll. I think we would have been put in a sticky situation had he not rolled that. I don't believe it.
いつも通りここはコーヒーの匂いで満たされてるな。
Ah, he's the coffee master.
いらっしゃい。今日はインディゴマウンテンなんだけど、
Sure, why not?
コーヒーの味はいつも同じというわけじゃなくて、いろんな要素によって味がそれぞれ違ってくるんだ。どこでどう栽培したか、どれくらい焙煎したか、抽出を止めるタイミングと豆をどれだけ砕いたかも大事なんだ。粒子の大きさによって酸味と甘さが決まるからね。
結構繊細な飲み物だったんだな。俺は渡されるがまま飲んでたけど。
都市の人と似てないかい？裏路地の出身か、巣の出身か。裏路地ならどの区域の出身なのかによって育ちと価値観が全く違ってくるから。そしてその成長の過程がどれだけ険しかったかも含めてね。音楽の路地で音楽ができない人は敗北者に。味の路地ではいつ自分が食材になるのかもわからないんだ。それが栽培地の方針だから。
言われてみるとそうだな。待てよ。
Honestly, I have no idea what he's talking about. All I got from that is ingredients, and now it started to make me hungry.
人によってそれぞれ違う味が出る。
Oh, wow. He ain't thinking about, turning to cannibalism, is he?
すごく23
Don't
らしい
do it.
発想なんだけど。
Don't become District
もしかして
23.
君、こっそりゲストをコーヒーにして抽出したりしてないだろうな。
You haven't been brewing coffee out of the guests, have you?
ロマンがないよね。冗談ということにしといてあげる。
That was literally what I was thinking.
俺も冗談半分だったけどな。まあどんなことでも起こりうるからな。
違う場所で作られたコーヒーを
Please,
一つに混
roll
ぜ
and
る
don't
こと
tempt
を
fate.
ブレンディングって言うんだ。ブレンディングすることでいくら質の低いコーヒーであっても風味を出すことができるんだ。社会学はブレンディングと似てるんだ。
So he's saying life is like coffee mix.
あらゆる人が一緒にうまく生きていけるようにする方法だから。それっぽいな。
Yeah. Even the cannibals, you gotta somehow put the cannibals in too.
でしょ？あとどんな風にブレンディングするかによって材料が選り分けられるんだ。でもコーヒー豆と違って人間には欲望があって自分が好きなブレンドマシンに行こうとするんだよね。できれば上等な世界へと行こうとするみたい。
どうせみんなまとめて惹かれるのにね。
それでいいコーヒー豆を手に入れるために都市と巣は絶えず囁くんだ。最も巨大で個性のある味を繊細に満たしてくれるための栄養補助剤が必要だから。人生の価値はここにある。これ見よがしに立派な生活を見せつけて選別された敗北者のありさまを見せるんだ。そうやって みんな取りつかれたように自分自身を売るんだ。
偽りだとしても裏路地の人生より素の人生の方がマシなのは事実だ。
そうかな。翼は文字通り人々をコーヒー豆みたいに引いてるんだけどね。それぞれの翼はこの翼が一番居心地のいい場所だって言いながら羽を集めるんだ。巣の中での政策は翼ごとに違って、裏路地はその政策に合わせてねじれていく。今の自分の行動が最善だって必死に信じながら。
信じてる？それが最善なんだ。裏路地の人生から抜け出して翼に入社してから安定的な素の人生を送る以上の方法はない。
それならブレンドする方法は誰が決めるんだろうね。いや、選別って必要なのかな。それぞれ自分が出す香りのまま生きちゃダメなのかな。
能天気なこと言うんだな。そんな疑問を抱けばキリがないぞ。
そうなのかい？
そういうもんだ。コーヒーごちそうさま。じゃあね。
All right, everyone. We just got one more abnormality to go, and before we get into it, we gotta show you the new deck we created specifically for this battle. So I've gone with Emma. So this abnormality fight is very finicky and annoying. At least like the early stage. Once you get out of the early stage, it becomes a lot easier. But like the first part of it. So I'll explain it to you when we get into the fat. But as for the deck, I needed to create like a very, I guess, defense heavy deck. So I wouldn't die immediately. And you understand why when we get into the abnormality fight. So I created this. So we're using Emma's page. We got 2 puppet blockades. You know, nice little card, gives you restores a light. We got 2 giggings, which restores 2 light, which is also pretty good. Then we got automated movements, repressed flesh. We got sharp nails. They're like the really heavy defense stats that help defend a lot. And we also got 2 forceful gestures, which draws a page, and if the attack hits, it inflicts feeble, disarm, and bind the next scene. So that's pretty good. As for the passives, we got Squeak Squeak on a successful blunt attack, because this is essentially a blunt deck. Deal 1 to 2 bonus damage. After a successful blunt, inflict fragile to a random enemy next scene. Yeah, so we also got improved drumming. We got Puppet Skeleton, blunt dice power +1. Punch to the solar plexus, blunt damage +2. And double kick, deal 1 damage to opponent upon winning a clash. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the deck we're going into. Now, as for the rest of the people, we're going to be using him, Wang, and where is he? Oscar. Yeah. So we're not using, I guess for this one we're not using Olga or Eugen. Eugen because he'll die immediately, and Olga because like she's not a really strong damage dealer, and we kind of wanted like the damage dealers of the group, which are these 4. I know Eugen's a damage dealer, but with the way that this battle works, you don't want him because he'll die immediately. Alright, so this one's called the Snow Queen. Oh, also, it's very imperative that you have Roland be very defensive for this battle. And as you can see why, your entire party is encased in ice. So essentially, the way this works is your main prerogative immediately is to get your party members out of the ass. Yeah, so pretty much you gotta get the health to 0, and then they get freed the next scene. That's why we've gone for a very defensive deck. Alright, so we're gonna use... so we're gonna use 2 giggings. So we're gonna use gigging and Puppet's blockade. And also, like, the defensive dice helps defend against these. Yeah, so as you can tell, it was very imperative to do this. Otherwise, like, Roland can die, like, pretty easily. Alright, so we're gonna use a forceful gesture. Actually, no. We're gonna use a forceful, because it says on clash lose. Actually, yeah, so we're gonna use forceful gesture and gigging. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, that's not good indeed. Hang on, let me retry this.
1 million zillion jillion dillion cotillion times later.
And we're back, everybody, and I have to say, I am struggling immensely on this abnormality pad. I've tried this for about 5 or 6 times now. I couldn't do it, so I've decided to pretty much switch up the decks. I've literally created 3 Emma decks because Emma is by far the most useful character in this fight. And I've kept Wang in as well because we need that smoke. I was contemplating going with like 3 Wang decks, but I went against it because of the beginning portion of it. Like, Wang wouldn't have like mattered that much, and that's why we got the Wangs. That's why we got the Emmas. So let's try this again. Alright. So the aim is to immediately get out all the Emmas. Like, this thing is so annoying. The fact that you start friendless. Are you kidding me? How? Yeah, I just reset that. Like, that was ridiculous. That has never happened to me before. Alright, automated movements. Try this again. Puppet blockade. There we go. It's because we failed in a clash. That's why. Alright. Now we're going to use sharp nails and gigging. Alright, finally got our second Emma out. Now, you're going to use repressed flesh, automated movements, yeah. Okay, okay, we're gonna get pulsation. Alright, there we go. Now, I don't know how we're going to go into this final battle with literally 3 members, because Roland is already down. But bloody hell, we got to try. Alright. So... gonna do that. Gonna hit him with the forceful gesture. And the gigging. And then we're gonna apply that deep drag. And that now smoke. Alright. Alright, there we go. We're doing a lot better this time. Wow, we're destroying that stagger resist. Really? Gonna need blood. Okay. Should be good just as long as we can apply the alright, there we go. There we go, we got it. We hit that stagger resist. Now it should be a piece of cake. And that, my friends, is what I call a gimmicky bullcrap of a battle. Oh man, I was trying it with like my main squad for like 5 or 6 attempts, and I was getting my ass wrecked. And I noticed that Roland was like the only one who was like really like doing some damage to the boss. So I was like, screw it, I'll create 3 Rolands, go in with 3 Rolands and a Wang. I will say, I did get a bit nervous. I did get a bit nervous once Roland was defeated. But we were finally able to do it.
何か言ってごらんよ。
意味もなく時間を
Well, this is an interesting meeting.
まあ、落ち着いて話そうよ。
そうね。あなたたちと話すのはすごく久しぶりだから。
私たちを恐れているのだな。避けたい存在でもある。
こうやって向かい合って話ができるくらいに仲がいいわけではないわね。それでも奥間、ビナ、あなたたちも無事に目覚めたわね。
They're kind of like the mature people of the group.
図書館がだんだんと完全になっているという意味でしょう。
Yeah, we just got... Well, technically it's 2 more sections. I'd say it's like more like 1.5. But every battle we have now on is going to be relentless after relentless battle after relentless battle It's gonna take some effort to complete.
お前の望むものにだんだん近づいているということでもある。
ええ、切に願うものでもあり、私の目標でもあるたった一冊の本。
The one book to rule them all.
この終わりに必ずその本が手に入れられることを信じてるわ。だからここまで来れたの。
悪夢のような過去がお前を責め苛まなければ、この殻の中に永遠に閉ざされているといえども、不滅の安定感と無限の幸せを享受できるだろうに。お前は依然として過去にとらわれているんだな。それゆえ殻の中に居座ろうともしない。外に出て素肌を晒すことが恐ろしくはないのか？
Bana? What are you talking about? Angela doesn't need to go that far.
差し当たり、お前を守るこの強固な殻の外に出ていくのであれば、傷だらけのお前の体には新しい肉がつく前に傷跡が残るだろう。ついに血にまみれ再び殻の中へ這い戻りたいと願う時には、すでに
Alright, Bana.
月日にすり減り、
You don't need to go that far. I understand you're a philosophical person, but that is just messed up.
されどもお前は
I thought you liked
ここを離れんと
Angela.
欲しているのだな。
You're the one who sided with her. Don't forget.
傷ができようが、勝手にイカれて擦り傷を作ろうが、あの
お前を苦しめる方法が変わるのみ。あの時と変わらず依然として恐怖はお前の目の前に存在するであろう。苦しい過去に埋もれて見えていないのか、それとも目を背けようと努め。
やるしかないの。どうにかして私は生気を得て粘り強く進んでいくから。それでも過去は徐々に忘れつつあるわ。この目標が変わることはないでしょうけど。
お前がそう言うのならそうだろう。私たちが再びこのように対面して話をする時間があると思っているか？
Other than that weird Bana death spiel, this was a pretty nice chat.
さあ、私はあればいいと思ってるけど。
Hey Bana, you still have a tea supply left? You still not gonna help us out?
あなたたちの意見を聞いてみたいの。
She wants all the tea drunk.
私たちの考えを聞くのか。意外だな。
もういいわ。挨拶はここで終わり。久しぶり。
言ってしまったな。ひどく冷酷に接したんじゃないか？
少し驚いただけ。悪意はなかった。
一番近くで見てるはずの俺も毎回びっくりするんだよな。最近は結構丸くなった気がするんだよな。少なくとも話
Yeah,
を
she
聞いて
doesn't
くれるような。
threaten to blow us up these days.
最初出会った時は会話すらせずに一方的にまくし立ててきたんだよ。
それがいい方向であれ悪い方向であれ、
いいことじゃないか。この先もこういう場が頻繁にあると喜ばしいな。
アンジェラの言う通り、他の指定秘書たちがどういう風に考えているのかが大事ではある。
まあ仮想とか中層の雰囲気なら気にしなくてもそこそこ悪くないから。それにしても全員が集まるとか正直うまく想像できないな。
Yeah, that would be a pretty chaotic scenario. All the librarians in one place. Alright, everyone. We've finally done all the abnormalities we need to at the moment. So I'm going to end the video right here. And next time, we're going to get back to actually doing some invitations. You know, I feel like we've been in Star of the City for a while and we've like barely done any of it. So we're going to be doing some of that next time. So thanks for watching, everyone. More parts out soon. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see ya.